So remember, the name of the game with composite figures is breaking the weird shape down into shapes we know. And there's always a bunch of different ways to do it. So with example 1, I would cut it here. That is not the only place to cut it. You could cut it here, right? Any of that works. Like I said, I'm going to cut it here, but that's not the only way to do it. So if you've started doing it differently, that's a-okay. Just know that your numbers will look different than mine. So I'm going to start with this little shape here first. And so the first thing I'm going to do is say that's a rectangle. So I have area of a rectangle formula. And the height of my rectangle is 3. But what is the base? 8 is this whole length right here. So I don't want 8. Right, so I know from here to here is 5. And the whole thing is 8. So what must here to here be? It has to be 3. Yep. So inside that rectangle, you're going to write a big 9 so you know what the area of that rectangle is. And then you're going to trace the other rectangle. Now the dimensions for this rectangle are much easier to see. So you need a formula. You need the base, and you need the height. And you have the total area for that. Your last step is going to be to add all the areas together. And that is 59 centimeters squared. Okay. Your next shape. Again, you could cut it like a triangle. You'd have a triangle and a trapezoid. You could cut it, well, that might be it. A triangle and trapezoid. So let's go ahead and do it that way. I guess, no, look, you could do it this way. You could cut it straight down, and it would be a rectangle and a triangle. That's fine too. Maybe you could cut it like that, and you would have a rectangle and a trapezoid that way. All of that works. I'm going to leave mine like this, just so that we can practice the trapezoid together. So I have a rectangle first, so I'm going to use formula for area of a rectangle. Now careful, don't use 9. 9 is this whole tall length. I just want to use 4 and 5. So the area of this rectangle is 20. Now we're going to figure out the area of this trapezoid. So trapezoid formula is that scary one. So we're going to copy down 1/2. Base 1 and base 2. Well, this would be base 2. What number is that? What's the measurement of that line? It's going to be 4. Yep. So 10 plus 4. And the height, ooh, the height is not 9. 9 is the whole length here. So we're going to have to decide what the height is. Be careful, not the slanted height. You stand up straight when you're being measured for how tall you are. The whole length is 9. From here to here is 5. So what's left? 4. GEMDOS says to do the parentheses first. 10 plus 4 is 14. And remember, multiplying by 1/2 is the same as dividing by 2. So I'm going to multiply 4 and 1/2 first. So 4 times 1/2 is 2. And 2 times 14 is 28. Your last step for this, you need to add the two areas together. Centimeters squared. Okay, so I'm at home. I don't have the paper that you're going to have. And I can't remember what the last shape on your page was. I think it's this one. If it's not this one, see if this one's on your paper. I'll do it with you. If it's not, well then, I guess this time is a waste for you and me both. You have two shapes, and I know this is one of everybody's favorites. You have a rectangle and you have a semicircle. I like to start with the easy shape first, so I'm going to find area of the rectangle first. I have my area formula. My base is 5 and my height is 8, which means my area is 40. Now the semicircle, we're going to use the circle formula. I know pi is going to be 3.14. What is the radius of this semicircle? Well, the measure of this line is 5. But that's not the radius, is it? That's the diameter. If the radius is 5, what is the diameter? Or I'm sorry, if the diameter is 5, what is the radius? .5. So 2.5 squared, that's 2.5 times 2.5. Now guys, you're going to have 4 decimal places with this. I'm sorry, that's excessive, I know. But go ahead and multiply these last two together, and then you need to add. I'm going to need more room than that. You're still not done, guys. Now you need to divide by 2. That is horrible. 9.8125. Now, go ahead and add those together. Whew. Hit pause. You don't have to go as fast as me. Sorry, that was a lot of work. Yuck. All right, do the rest on your own. A word about the shaded, when it asks about shaded regions, find the area of the triangle and the square or the rectangle and the circle, and then subtract the area of the circle. So that's going to be a little bit different thinking than you've done before.